let's keep an eye on fuel. We'd like to have options available for us towards the end.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're here for the Japanese Grand Prix. As you can see by the title, things are getting serious. Today we want to be almost securing the World Drivers' Championship. I think if we get the maximum points and if like our championship rivals like Hamilton don't score points, it is a possibility, I believe, that we could win the championship today. But we're just going to make sure we win. It's been a while since we've been anywhere near competitive. I just want to get that momentum back in the championship, and that all starts with Friday practice. So now that we've fully upgraded our car and everything, we solely put our effort into making the car fast and not going for resource points. And it looks like it's worked out. So P3 in practice, time for quali.
Welcome to the only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix.
So as you can see on screen, we've got some tricky conditions to start off with qualifying. Apparently half an hour into this session, might be the end of Q2 or the start of Q3, we're going to have bone dry conditions, fingers crossed. But yeah, we just got to get ourselves out of Q1 on intermediate tyres. Shouldn't be too hard. I feel like if you just put in a solid lap versus the AI, you can always get yourself out of trouble in intermediate conditions. A fully wet track is a totally different story in terms of grip levels. But at the moment, 2.1 seconds up, and that margin continues to grow as our first banker lap was absolutely dreadful. Just waiting until the end of the session here, like you can see, waiting for the track to get drier. And there we go, P1 in a fairly solid lap. 144.6, only marginally in front of Kimi Räikkönen. Lewis Hamilton down the order a little bit, 1.2 seconds away. So he'll need to sort out his setup in the coming sessions. Actually, he can't do that. It's park firm maybe. Q2 only did the one lap. I was very comfortable. Was waiting for dry conditions to come. Never really happens. And here we are for qualifying 3. It's still wet. So the rain has stuck around for a very, very long time. Just like in my league race, the rain just doesn't want to go away. It's just taking ages for the track to dry up. I'm guessing because the temperatures are quite low and the sun hasn't come out just yet. But our lap so far is a little bit scruffy, a bit taily on the exit of the middle sector out of the two. Degner's there, but it doesn't disrupt our flow too much. The rear traction has been a bit of an issue, but we're running with very, very high downforce around this track to help the grip levels, and it definitely helps the tyres stay in a decent running temperature. We're 2/10 up on Sebastian Vettel's fastest time at the moment, so we're looking quite good. So fingers crossed we can go to the top here. We are expecting dry conditions very, very soon. The engineer did say it's only like 5 or so minutes away, so we'll have to wait and see though. 143.9, very, very solid lap. I actually wasn't going to do a lap at the start of the session. I was almost going to wait until the very end and just go straight out on dries, but I'm glad I didn't do that now because the rain never went away. And yeah, it stayed intermediate conditions the whole time. And there's a weird thing that happens with the track when like it gets too dry for inters, but it's not quite dry enough for dries. It just means that no one improved, and that's what happened in that session. So we set our time at the perfect time. It's pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix, 5/10 ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton down in P6. So it looks quite good for our championship standings. It's time for the race.
We're live today from the Mie Prefecture of Japan as we look forward to the Japanese Grand Prix. The 2015 race here was one of only 5 Grand Prix in history to feature no retirements at all. Although with the highly competitive field we have today, I don't expect we'll be repeating that stat anytime soon.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair.
Okay, so here we are on the grid of Japan. We'll have a look at the race strategy, 2 stops, but crucially at the end of the race we have more rain heading our way. Because we got through qualifying without any dry tyres being used, we can start on whatever tyres we want. So I'm going to go for the mediums and play the long game and hopefully get to that rain period by doing one less stop versus the AI, who seem to be all starting on soft compound tyres. So we've got a massive advantage up our sleeve.
Conditions to remain dry for a while. We will update you if the outlook changes.
Okay, so checking by that, it looks like the rain is not going to hit us anytime soon. You can never 100% trust the weather forecast. Sometimes it could come halfway through the race, even though it says it's coming at the end. So you've always got to be on your toes for when that weather might strike. But here we go, ready for the start of this race. 5 red lights from pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix, and we are underway. How is the start versus Vettel? It looks like it's fairly solid, actually. Verstappen follows me through as well. Hamilton on the inside of one of the Red Bulls. I'm guessing that's Ricciardo. There's a yellow flag through turn 1. Okay. I believe I saw a Red Bull going a bit sideways. I'm guessing that was Ricciardo, because Verstappen is still right behind me in second place. But we are going to carry on with this race. There is no interference with the virtual safety car, not even an occurrence with the safety car itself. So I was very surprised to have a first corner incident and not have a safety car. It's always guaranteed that a yellow flag stoppage will interrupt the race. But here we go on to lap 2 now. This is Verstappen getting overtaken by my teammate, and we now have a Mercedes OP 1-2. It's a throwback to 2014, I guess, but looking at that replay, I always pause the game in the middle of the race and just check it, but I was not ready for the hairpin that came up, and now Lewis is taking advantage. He's taking the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix, which is quite unfortunate. I want to get him back. He's run wide through turn 1, and we get him back. That was very, very lucky on our part to get the lead back from Lewis. He's looking very speedy in his Mercedes, on a softer compound as well, but this time he's on the straight, and there's almost no fighting that. We'll let him go, stick in his slipstream, and hopefully he can pull us along in this race, pull us further away from Verstappen. We're not really racing each other today, even though we are racing for the lead. I feel like my strategy is going to put me on top in this race, no matter what Hamilton does. Unless he's ridiculously fast and laps me like a second a lap quicker, I don't think we'll need to worry about him too much. So we'll follow him through, save a bit of fuel at this stage. We are 2 laps down on fuel, but we're just purely doing that for fuel-saving exercises and not running the engine under too much duress over the course of the race. But lap 5 has come, and Lewis is making his stop very early on. Verstappen carries on. It looks like he's going to overtake me too. So where is the pace gone in the halfway point of this stint? I was thinking, 6 laps in here, I'd be pulling away from these guys on soft compound tyres, but it's quite the opposite. What has happened to my pace? And what has happened to my straight line speed as well? I can't believe Verstappen overtook me in a straight line without slipstream. That's unbelievable, even though I was in rich revs. But we're going to carry on here. Kimi Raikkonen behind on mediums.
Raikkonen behind. The gap to the car behind is 3.3 seconds. They're on all mediums. We think they've got 2 stops remaining. The time last lap was a 1:35.5.
Okay, so I saw that Raikkonen was behind me on the mediums. I just wanted to check out what his pace was like on the same compound, because as you saw there, we got overtaken by both Hamilton and especially Verstappen quite easily on the softs, even though they were degrading quite a bit. But it was encouraging to know that we were faster than Raikkonen at the time before he made his stop. So at this point, we're just waiting, because it looks like the weather is going to hit us, and it's not too far away. So we're going to come in. I think it's about 10 minutes away, the engineer said. So we're going to come in now, put on the soft compound tyres, and get the benefit of that compound. And by the end of that stint, we should be seeing rain, and we can make that very slick transition onto the intermediate tyres. But rejoining on the track, Verstappen jumps us. Hamilton has jumped us by a long way, but Hamilton has actually gone onto the soft compound tyres again. So he could well in fact be making another stop before the rain hits. Around the outside of Verstappen through the final chicane there. We got so close on the braking zone, approaching that penultimate corner. It was outrageous, but now we've got to defend from Verstappen again. He's in the slipstream. DRS is in our hands, and that was just the cushion we needed to stretch away from Verstappen. He's on the hard compound tyres now, so there should be absolutely no challenge from him from behind, and actually Lewis made his pit stop while we were dealing with Verstappen there. So lap 12, we're going purple, we've got fresh air, and we're just waiting now until that weather hits. Team radio.
The radar is showing
Okay, 5 minutes. We can stay out for a little bit longer. The tyre wear is really harsh around Suzuka. And so if the rain does take a little bit longer than anticipated, then that could really kill my race. And I could be falling into puncture territory just because the tyre wear is that bad.
Heavy rain arriving in under 10 minutes.
So we've been driving around now on these tyres for a good 6-7 laps, and the tyres are now starting to feel the effects of tyre wear. The guys behind me are really closing in at this stage, but thankfully the light rain has hit and we're now pulling into the pits. Right as we said that, right as we were pulling in, the engineers suggested a strategy change, so that came with the absolute perfect time. Intermediate tyres are going on, and I believe Raikkonen and Hamilton, who are right behind me, coming in for their intermediate tyres as well. So we had a lead of about 10 seconds-ish, and that got cut down to about 5 seconds, I believe. So I was so thankful that the rain decided to come then, otherwise we would have been screwed. But now 9 laps to go in this Japanese Grand Prix, and at this stage we are stretching out the margin to Raikkonen and Hamilton behind. It seems like in the wet weather conditions we do just have a little bit extra in our pocket versus those guys, so that's a nice cushion that we have at the moment. So 6 laps to go at this stage, still pushing on, making sure that we don't, oh dear, do that. I was just going to say, make sure we don't make mistakes, and what do? That happens. On the replay, look at how close this is. That is absolutely outrageous, and not a millimeter closer and we would have lost our wheels there. Unbelievable. 4 laps to go, just dealing with back marker traffic now. Hulkenberg is not having a good day, and he drops a lap down. Raikkonen is in, and is this going to be for wet tyres? Because we are scheduled to have heavy rain very soon. But no, he goes on to the intermediate tyres, and Hamilton actually followed him in at the same point as well. So now we have a pit stops lead over our nearest competitors, and there should be absolutely no doubt in my mind that we should win this Japanese Grand Prix. Now, Jensen had an engine failure. Typical. But all jokes aside, 2 laps to go, and it's pretty much all academic now. Technically, the rain is classed as heavy rain, and we could pretty much make the switch to full wet tyres, but at the moment, the track still, has a lot of grip in it. I'm still doing fine on the intermediate tyres, so I'm just going to stay out on the strategy that I'm on at the moment. Last lap, didn't come in for wets, and we're going to go on to win this Japanese Grand Prix. A much-needed win after, some pretty bad luck striking us in the last few races, and now a few burnouts as we come across the line to win the Japanese Grand Prix and possibly the championship with that.
Yes, you've done it. Well done.
So there we go, guys. A victory in Japan. Finally, a win where, or just a simple race where we didn't have too much trouble for us. In the start there, had some issues with, Hamilton and Verstappen being much pacier than us, but we weathered that storm, made the right calls under the conditions, and we took away the victory. So we now lead the championship by 81 points. Not quite a championship win just yet, but I know for certain that we can wrap it up in the next one. I think with 100 points left on offer for the championship now, if we can get that gap a little further extended, or at least, keep up a decent results in the next one, then I think we could wrap up the championship. But that's been this episode for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 gaming videos. The reason why I want to win the championship, but why I want to win it sooner is because once we win it, we can then start toying with, different challenges or concepts, starting from the back, doing 100% races, live comms, all that kind of thing, because I want to do some fun stuff before we wrap up this career mode series. That's why I really wanted to get that win after the DNF or the non-points finish in Malaysia. But thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.